friends, welcome to How To Wednesday afternoon. My name is Miss Jill. I'm a children's librarian at the Erlanger branch primarily. I know lots of you have been tuning in, our patrons that I see there. Maybe some of you are new to me, but I love that you're all using the library so much, checking out all of our videos. I am going live every Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock to show you how to do something. It's usually some sort of upcycled craft or activity. Miss Carrie from Covington is going live every Monday at 4 o'clock to do similar type of things, a how-to video. We also have story times going on throughout the week with Miss Amy, a Spanish story time with Miss Dagmar, and lots of other really fun things happening right here on our Facebook page. So be sure that you're checking out our events section to see what all we have going on. All this information is also on our online calendar on our website, kentonlibrary.org. That's also where you can check out books and or ebooks, because we can't get physical books right now because we're all still stuck at home right now, quarantining it up, but that's okay. That's what Governor Andy says to do, so that's what we're gonna do. Today, let's get to what we're doing. It is Earth Day. It's the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And we're gonna do some things that are super nice and just celebrating Mother Earth and all the great things that she does for us. We are gonna be upcycling some crafts like I try and do every week. I know that since most of us are stuck at home, we don't want to get out any more than we have to, so I'm trying to really use things that we already have in our homes. Upcycling, things we'd be recycling anyways, using things that you hopefully already have on hand, markers, crayons, colored pencils. You can really mix and match. If you don't have markers and I used markers, use crayons. It's totally fine. Tape, glue sticks, things like that. If it's an item that maybe you don't have at home, hopefully there's something that you could swap it out for, or a lot of these are just simple items that you can pick up relatively cheap when you're already out at a store, maybe picking up some necessary groceries anyways. So let's get started today. So today we're gonna do two different things. One of them is an upcycled, I made flowers, but you could make whatever you want, art picture out of recycled materials. The background of mine is just a paper bag that I got takeout from a local restaurant in. That's all that it is. You could use paper, anything that you have. It can be scrap paper, really whatever you want. I use cereal boxes and a sparkling water box. Some of you probably recognize that. And then some magazines to make mine. I will show you how to make this specific flower right here. All that I did was took a nice colorful cereal box I was already going to be recycling, drew some flower petal shapes on there, cut it out, glued it on, drew the stem. It's nice and pretty, something kind of different, a different type of art. Now, how to make that fun magazine flower. There's a couple different ways you can go about doing this. You don't have to use magazines. You could use, paper boxes or cardboard boxes, things like that you already have. I happen to have a couple magazines lying around. I also use some of those flyers that we get in the mail anyways that they just send out to everyone. Whatever you aren't going to use out of those, cut them up. It doesn't matter if there are words on the pages because we just want maybe some variety of color. So here I have one example of a pre-glued, pre-cut cardboard flower. So the first thing you want to do is maybe figure out what shape you would like. Since I made flowers, I made a tulip type shape here on this paper. But you could make it just a traditional flower. You could make an airplane, a rocket ship, an umbrella, anything that you really want, a star. Your kids are going to be more creative than I am, so let them do whatever they want. Maybe they just want it to be a crazy shape. Who really cares? It's art. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So for my flower that I made, I pre-traced the shape on the back of this is a Raisin Bran box. I pre-drew mine on there, and then I went ahead and cut out some strips of magazine and cut it and pasted them on here just with a glue stick. Just cut out some nice colorful strips there. It doesn't matter the length. I really tried hard to get some fun patterns. The magazine I was looking at was kind of boring, so there weren't a lot of fun patterns. Those of you with maybe kids at home, maybe if they subscribe to any, I don't know, they might have some more fun patterns in there, maybe to some of those ads that we get in the mail that we're never gonna use anyways. So to do this part then, you take your scissors, I pre-glued mine, and then you just cut along the shape like so. And I'm not being super neat because I'm doing it up in the air so you can see, but you can always go through and finish it up. It may not look perfect, and you know what? That's okay. Maybe yours is a flower that's been through a big thunderstorm, it had some hail, got a little bit hurt, but it's still okay because you know what? Our planet is strong and everything will regrow again. It's all about Earth Day today. And you just cut all around, get my couple of little extra pieces off, and voila, there we have a beautiful flower. Now, if you don't, that was a little bit tricky to do, especially with the points. Maybe you don't feel super comfortable just trimming the magazine that way. Another thing you can do is, I just have a really small, this is just an end of a box that I had. You can take one of these. I'm gonna put some glue on this now. Let me get my glue stick lid off. All right, so I'm just gonna cover the entire back of this with some glue. There we go. And I had some pre-cut magazine strips already that I'm just gonna tape on there in a pattern that I think looks kind of nice. Here's a teal. Let's see, what else did I have? Like I said, I was kind of limited on the magazines that I had. I'd just taken my recycling out. Here's a nice pinky purple, a couple of Miss Jill's favorite colors. Let's do this bright green. We're gonna stick these on there. Some of it's kind of fun. Maybe you don't have a lot of patterns on yours, but some advertisements have large words, or just headlines have large words. So maybe you want that for just like some extra pattern on yours. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This could look really cool with a newspaper print. If you wanted to do something like that, it could be a really cool design. This is something that your littles or even your teens or tweens could have a lot of fun with. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm an adult. I am an adult that has lots of interests as kids, which is why I'm a children's librarian. But it's super fun. You can make some really cool art at home. Maybe you're just looking for something to do, have a creative outlet. This is easy, easy stuff to do. All right, we're getting our last piece of paper on. So now I have them nice and glued on. It's just kind of crazy right there. Then you could draw a design back here or just cut out whatever you want. We're gonna do something kind of easy because too intense stuff right now is just probably not gonna look super great on the video. So we're just gonna make a nice triangle. So I'm just gonna trim off the ends. I'm gonna cut the entire piece of cardboard to get a nice crisp line. And then I'm just gonna go up like this. And then up like this. And then there we go. We have some nice clean lines on there. Don't have to worry about the magazine fraying off. So that's another option if you would like to do it that way. You can do it a couple different ways, whatever you want, whatever is the best for you. Now you could use on your entire picture, I just used marker on the bottom of mine to draw the stems and grass, but you could use other magazines or other boxes that are cut up to make sort of a picture look however you want it to look. Maybe you put a sunshine on your picture, but you don't have a yellow box. Turn the cardboard around and color it in, or make it be a green sun. There's no right or wrong way. Like I said, it's all about art. Now then, today, my friends, our next activity is another one all about celebrating our great planet, our Mother Earth, because it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, like I said earlier. Let me move these magazine strips out of the front of my way here. I have to clean all those up, take them to the recycling later. All right, so the next thing we're going to make is coffee filter planet Earths. So it looks really cool on both sides. Now you can use whatever colors you really want for this. You can make a really cool tie-dye design, but because today, like I said, we're all about doing things for the earth, we're doing ours with just blue and green. So here's the completed product, but I have a couple ones that I'm gonna show you how to do. So I pre-colored. All you need are some coffee filters. Hopefully you have some on hand at home. If not, I'm not completely sure if there's a substitute for them. Maybe you could do something kind of similar with tissue paper, but it would probably dissolve way too much. So you probably do need a coffee filter, unfortunately, but hopefully you maybe have just one or two extras lying around so you can do this. So here I have one just scribbled around because I want mine to represent the earth the most that it can. I have more blue than green because the earth has way more water than land. And then this one here, we're just gonna try it as an experiment. I left some more white space on this one just to see what it looks like. I've never done it before, so I have no idea. So we're testing it out together. If you've ever been to one of my programs at the library, sometimes that's what happens. I don't always have time to test everything out beforehand. But like I say, it's all about science, which is all about experimentation, seeing what works and what doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. It's all about the process, finding out what works and what doesn't. Now, what we do, I have a little tray here that I've put this in because we're gonna add some water to this to make the colors blend and spread to get that nice effect that we had right here. And the best way to do this is to maybe use a pipette or a dropper of some sort. I didn't have one of those at home, so I'm just using my fingers because we all have those on our hands. We could use, you could use, maybe a fork or a knife or a spoon. A spoon might add a little bit too much water, but it'll dry really fast. It's not necessarily going to do anything wrong. You just might have a bigger mess. So I would advise using a tray, use a baking pan, a cookie sheet, something like that you maybe already have, and make sure, even if you're using washable markers, that maybe you aren't on a surface that you don't want to get stained. All right, so now I have my water over here. Let's see if we can do this. I just have it on my hands. I'm gonna drop some here. There we go, dropping it on. And as you can kind of see, the colors are smearing around a little bit. Now I'm gonna go down here because I'm losing a lot of water on my foot while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna add more water to this and I will hold it up again for you all to see. All right, here we go. Now there it is, much more marbly. There I have some of the color coming down on the bottom of this. I don't want to tilt it up too much and get that all over my floor. But there we have a completed earth. So the colors all blend together, get kind of a tie-dye effect. Now I just used regular old markers that you would buy to use at school for this. You don't have to have something special, anything too permanent. Actually, it's probably not going to have this effect. If you try and use Sharpies, it's probably not going to do this. Now when I made my sample, it dried very quickly, but what I would advise is maybe I put mine on the back of, once again, a recycled cereal box. Maybe you have a newspaper at home, a paper bag at home, set it on top. I have a paper bag here. Set it on top of one of those just to dry. It's not, some of the color will go onto the box or bag that you put it on, but it's not going to ruin it or anything. Your earth is still going to look beautiful. Now, just for experimentation, I do have another, this is an empty candy box, but I do have another box. Let's see what happens with the one that has more white space on it, just to see. Miss Jill's just kind of curious. We're going to do this. We're adding our water. Now, like I said, today I used mostly just blue and green, or only blue and green, because I wanted it to look more like the earth. But you can do this with any colors that you want, and it can be some cool like tie-dye effects. Now this actually, a lot of the white space did get filled in, but it is still a little bit lighter. Let me try and pick it up here. This one got pretty saturated. But here we do have a few lighter spots on there, but it's still kind of smeared around a lot. So the more color you want to have, the more marker you want. So this one's kind of hard to see. That one maybe has a little bit more color. It'll be easier to see once they've dried. Once they've dried, I can post a picture in the comments to show you what they look like for those of you that might be wondering. So there is that. Just leave them out to dry. Mine was dry in maybe 30 minutes to an hour when I pre-made my test one, so it doesn't take that long to do. If you are fortunate enough to have a ample supply of coffee filters, you can do so many of these. They will all look different. They're super pretty, super fun. You could hang them up around. You can maybe put it in your window and have a nice little window decoration. You could do whatever you want with it. If you aren't able to find coffee filters, hopefully you can just, keep this in the back of your mind, and once they're more readily available, I know they were sold out of my local grocery store. I just had a few on hand at home. Hopefully you're able to find some and can do this project. If you make any of these things, we would love to see them, so you can post them here in the comments, or you can just send them to us here through our Facebook page. Be sure to be checking back. Like I said, every week we're doing different videos like this, showing you how to do different crafts. We're doing story time, we're doing genealogy chats, we're giving homeschool tips. Lots of great resources are here on our Facebook page. And make sure that if you haven't been outside today, you should go outside, celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, enjoy the beautiful weather that we're having. I'm sitting by a window that's open right now, which is why I keep looking outside, because it's so beautiful outside. Go enjoy the sunshine if you can, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, friends.